Hi everyone, welcome back. Yeah, hi. Just going to turn my music down just a little bit. And yeah, hi, right. So I guess we've just jumped straight back in. Let's figure out where we were last time. And then I think I have some ideas. Yes, we were. So we're running now. We'll go to localhost 8080. So, yeah, okay, we've got this, and we were able to fire bullets down, and they explode when they reach the end of the hall. So that's great, and a little bit of random. So today my plan is, well, we were going to fix the skybox because I wanted this black hole to hold the sky, and it was after the stream that I figured out why it wasn't working, and that was because I forgot to turn on the transparency in the model. So let's close all of this, and then it is the skybox, and in the model, and I think we're going to need to update the model because I don't think we can set the transparency, but it is there. Yeah, so use transparency is there. It's just only set. Yeah. So, and you'll see in the render function, if you're using transparency, it actually changes the blending type, which I think we were playing around with at the end of last session. It's been a while, but I think we were playing around with that, but it didn't quite work because it drew the sky like underneath the ceiling. But yeah, anyway, it didn't work. So this will be so we just need to set this, but we need to add a little something to the model on the new. And use transparency as a Boolean type, and that's going to be use transparency. Actually, we've got quite a few models, so actually, yeah, instead of doing this, I think we'll just make it a function on there. So. Use transparency, should call that set use transparency. Cool, and it's kind of predicted what we wanted to do, so it just says that, which is great. And then in the skybox, when we create the skybox, which is here, to model.set use transparency, true, and then it'll be default false for everything else. And okay, well, that's a good start in that it's now green, which is the background, so that's good. But then the night sky isn't appearing, so let's try and figure out why. So I seem to remember we got the night sky working. Let's drop the skybox to -20 just to drop that out of the way and see if we can see the night sky. Okay, we can see the night sky, it's just a little bit high. That's why it's not appearing in the above the model, so we need to move that down a bit. So put the skybox back, and then the night sky, let's try, that's the scale. Let's try putting that to 5 and see where that appears. So, okay, that's interesting, still not. Oh, let's try rendering the night sky before. There we go. Yeah, it was overdrawing on there. So that's cool. It's there at least, but let's move it in the skybox. So I think we actually want to get a bit more of an effect. I think we want to move it 8 up, and then quite a lot back. So I think let's try -5. What's this? I want to see more of the stars. Okay, they moved that in the wrong direction. Let's try setting that to 10. Okay, it's good, but we can still should see. Yeah, see we can get the parallax effect on the night sky, but it's still not going far enough back. So let's try moving a bit further still. Okay, well now we can see it's not long enough. So not sure. I can't remember which one is the direction. Let's just try changing the Y direction, see if that does it. Yeah, it does. Cool. Okay, so we now have a night sky. Oh, we can just about see some green there. So I'm going to move that a little bit further. Just say 18 just to be sure. There we go. Hey, now we've got we've got now a see-through skybox with a bit of sky appearing above. It doesn't look great at the moment, but we can improve that later. But it at least gives us that that sort of view. And then the thing I wanted to do was to rough up the top part of the skylight so that it was like a jaggedy edge. But I was thinking during the week, because it's got a sort of 8-bitty feel to it, I kind of want to do it in steps. So rather than having like a smooth, well, a smooth jaggedy edge that feels like a, tell you what, I will draw what I mean. I think that's going to be easier to say. So rather than having like a jaggedy edge like this, which it would look in if it was like a normally broken roof, I kind of want to go with a stepped ruins like this, something a bit like this, so that it feels a bit more like a building that's falling apart. And I think that should be fairly straightforward. We just have to revisit the skybox generator. And then we have to find the ceiling, which is here. Okay, so this before was simply using the if it's certain within. So for x in range, if the x is less than the start x plus panel width, I guess the start x is the offset, because of course we're mapping this directly onto a flat surface. So the skybox generator back. Yeah, so I think we want to create the left steps equals get steps, and the we want to set the maximum panel width is going to be, or is it so the start x is the for panel width is that. Okay, yeah, so it's just going for between 1/4 and 3/4. So get steps for ceiling. So we'll create a function called get steps for ceiling. So that would be easier to do that. And yeah, let's see what's 16 plus items. If we use I, it's going to give us a sort of scoped step, and that's actually not what we want. We want random, so we want to import random. Sorry, just checking it's correct there. There we go. Sorry, now I can lean back in my chair and still be in shot. So we've imported random. Now we want ran equals random.random. So that's going to be between 0 and 1. And then we want to, we'll say create ceiling min step is going to be probably 0.15, and ceiling max step 0.3, let's make that 0.4. And then step is, let's see, what is that? The min step plus random times the max minus the min, the variance. Yes, absolutely, that is, that's what I wanted. Cool. So, might as well make that an ignore. Oops. Number of receiving steps 16. It's predicted what I want to do. Make that. Okay, so now it's all controlled from the random sides. So then we need to get the it's pretty smart, this AI thing. Okay, yeah, so we need to get the step index. We need to figure how far down we are based on the y. Let's see, x minus start x. Okay, so that's wrong because it needs to be based on the y over panel height, yes, times the number of ceiling steps. Yes, absolutely, that is it. So we want to take the panel height, is that right? I'm actually not sure, but we will, so then it's going to be left steps, oops, step index, there we go. This is the start x, which is where that's the left edge of the panel we're drawing, plus the left steps. Yes. I think that should do it. So let's open a new window and we'll go into apps. We want to source our virtual environment first. Skybox generator. Okay, well that did not work. So let's figure out. I think it's this bit actually. So the step index. In fact, let's print out step index just to see what's going on. Oops, when it generates that. Okay, that's a lot of numbers. So, and they are all 1, 0. Oh, okay, no, it is. It's giving us numbers 1 to 15. So that should be right. Let's just check the. Steps. Just want to see what the steps look like when they're generated. Okay, well, that is not right because they are. So why? Because they're still percentages. So we that needs to be times the image size over 4. Yeah, because it's a quarter of the thing. Okay, let's try rerunning that, see what happens. Okay, those look like better numbers. Yes, excellent. Okay, so that's done it. Okay, yeah, I like that. I think that's kind of doing what I want. And then we'll do the right steps. It's going to be get steps for ceiling. But then we want to do right steps equals panel width minus step for step in right steps. Yeah. So because we're flipping it, we want to flip it. So we'll just use a generator for that. And then it's predicting that we want to, or it's greater than, yeah, that's right. So let's get rid of the print statement, so just print out a little garbled numbers. Oops. Okay, there we go, we've got our broken ceiling. So let's stick that in our window. We'll keep the old one just in case. Just call it archive. Let's stick that in there, and we're going to get our, yes, there we go. Okay, and it's still kind of kept that like blocky feel. Yeah, that's what I wanted, just a bit more of a broken roof. Kind of, I don't know if 16 is enough. Maybe we need to increase the number. So let's make that 32. So copy this into here. Skybox, call this Skybox 16, and let's set this one to be Skybox. Yeah, I think I prefer that. So I prefer that, except for the fact that there's those three like turrety looking things. It's not quite random enough. So I am going to rerun the generator, but I think that 30 was the right number. Sorry, 32 was the right number. Come here. Okay, yeah, we don't have those, that like turrety effect of, it's been quite so similar. I think that should be okay, because you can't really see the ones at the back. It's a little bit even here. It looks a bit like a comb. But I think that should be good. So let's copy this in here. Get rid of this one. Yep. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think that's looking good. I think it gives us a nice little thing. It's a little bit toothy on the left-hand side, but I think that's good. Okay, cool. Well, those are the things that I definitely wanted to fix today. Then I thought we could start to work on the first enemy model. Now, last time we drew them in 2D, which was, it looked cool. It was a cool concept. I think probably still got the original art somewhere. Images, yeah, here we go. Enemy wizard, yeah. So, like, I like that as a general theme, but now that we're doing it in 3D, in a more sort of polygon-y type of way, while still keeping some of the 8-bit style, it's going to be a bit more complicated because we can't just draw what we want. But it's yeah, it should be an interesting exercise. So the first thing to do is going to be to get the projects open, and I don't think I've got the right projects. So I will check this code in to commit what we have. Skybox, and then add those bits in to keep the transparencies, just checking for any debug. That's the use transparency, and just add the one function. Yes, cool. Okay, so update. Night sky, and Skybox generator to show jagged ceiling. Right. So I'm just going to take, well, it's going to be like a couple of minutes just while I get everything set up. I realized this was very poor planning on my part. I didn't open the right applications to get them all set up. So I'm going to just block the screen briefly, and I'll be back in a minute or so. Cool, sorry for the delay and messing about. Okay, so we've got these two applications. They're both available on Codeberg. I believe the links are in the description on the video. These are what we're going to use. So the GLTF exporter, we used it before to create the firebolt. Here's an example of a wall, which is just a plane. So you specify the coordinates of your triangle. So these are 3 points of a polygon. These are the coordinates in 3D space, first three. We've got the RGB values for each corner. And then the UV coordinates for mapping UV coordinates across that. I'm not planning on using a texture at the moment, so I'll probably just set all of these to 0. We can always come back and apply a texture later on, but I think for now just colors will be okay. So the first thing to do is where's all of this? Gonna actually create a new folder for this. We'll call this VC clone, and we'll do enemy head. There we go. So I've got some designs. I don't know how easy they're going to be to see. So what I'll do is I'll recreate them in MS Paint. And so the wanted a sort of cowl effect. So from the front, it would look a bit like this. Oops. And then we'll probably just put a black panel in here. I don't know if we can recreate the red eyes. It might be quite cool to put like a unique shader on there and just have a whole separate panel for the faces, and kind of make the shader do all the work there. But yeah, that's the front view, and then the back view. I want it to go back ever so slightly as it comes back, and then have a little like tail on the end of the hood. And that's going to sit over the body, and the body kind of going here, but we'll do that separately from the thing. The reason is I want to be able to move each of the parts independently. So first thing to do, the center, I will put 0, 0 at the bottom, and like in the, let's get rid of that. Sketch the body, and then put it, that's the wrong tool. Okay, yeah, and put 0, 0 in the middle at the bottom here. So in line with the bottom of the cowl type in there. So first point will be, actually the first thing we want to do is grab a color to start with, and let's go with hex color picker. I want to go for a purple. Okay, and that looks good to me. Good with that. Just need to get it as RGB values. It won't let me select each of them. Okay, so do I have a virtual environment? I don't have a virtual environment yet. Okay, so comments. Purple 207 13 214. And then I'll also select like a slightly darker purple as well to just to give, we can put some like shading onto the polygons. So 79 382. And then we want to, I do a virtual cube texture generator, and source VM scripts activate. I just literally want to be able to do the maths, so just 207 divided by 255. Call that 0.812. 13 divided by 255. 51. And finally 214. 255. 39. We'll calculate for the dark purple as well. It's going to be 79 divided by 255. I'm doing the rounding. 3 divided by 255, that's going to be very low. Oops. 0.012. And what's the last value? 82. 255. 322. Cool. Okay, so the first thing, I guess we need to decide how big the cowl is going to be. I can't remember how big the firebolt was, so I'm just going to have a look at that. Firebolt short. That was for creating the different colors of our firebolt. There we go. So height-wise, it seemed to go 0.1 to 0. Oh, okay, it was very small. Right, let's just make it between 0 and 1 then. So we will start at 0.0, and we want it to be 1, because it's going to be 1 high, and then yeah, if we said the x is going to be in the middle at the bottom, then it needs to be minus 0.5 at the top. I'm going for the front part of the cowl to start with, and then we'll select the light color, and as I said, we'll just set the UV coordinates to 0, 0. So then, according to the diagram we have here, I'm trying to create this triangle first, so that goes back to just behind the 0 point, so I think the Z will be maybe 0.1, but other than that, everything else will be the same. Actually, it's down slightly as well, isn't it? So, and make that 0.8, and then finally we need a coordinate, this coordinate here, to to, and actually it should go in an anti-clockwise direction, so we want that to be the second coordinate. Oops. So this one will go in here, and it is going to be, let's say 0.3, and then how high do we want it to be? Well, according to this diagram, which again is not perfect, but it would be lower than 0.8, but not by much, so it's 0.5. And the Z, well, if that point is, we want it to be slightly in front of the, so let's say 0.25, and we will that 0.0. Right, now that we have our first polygon, we can test out creating this. So cargo run, PC clone, enemy head, and copy output, enemy head, GLTF into go one folder up, VCC clone. I don't remember where our assets are stored. So this one, yes. They are stored in the root assets GLTF. Oh no, wait, sorry, we want to see it in the viewer. TF viewer. I can't remember, it's in app. The folder structure in the GLTF viewer is not good. Source Tory assets GLTF. There we go. Right, so we create it and then copy the thing in, and then we will load up an instance of the GLTF viewer. Cargo Tory dev. It's a Tory application. Just waiting for the dev server to start. Cool, so here's our model, and we should have our enemy head. There it is. Just select no texture. Excellent. Oh, I forgot that I put a spinning spinning thing on it. I'll take that off in a second. But yeah, cool. That's our first polygon, and yeah, without other polygons, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's try and figure out where that rotation is. Update. Suspect it's going to be in here. It is not. Did I? Yeah. Put it in the model, I don't know why. Okay, just check that it does stop it from doing that. I think I was messing about with something. I wanted it to rotate. Yeah, okay, so enemy head. No texture, no texture. Scale up. There's the zoom, and there we go. Yeah, we've got our first polygon. So first thing to do is going to be to get the next polygon. You need to change the order because it's going to be flipped, and that's going to be minus. I think that's all we have to do, just to flip that about. Yeah. So that's on your head. No texture, no texture. Okay, good start. Just adjust that. Cool. That's what I was hoping for. So this is this little space at the front. That's where the head's going to go, and that's the beginning of the cowl at the back. So let's continue building the cowl at the back. Might even start to add some changes in color as well to make it a bit more exciting. So taking the first one, actually let's split this into right side and left side. And then we know that the left side is just going to be a mirror of the right side. So, I also think we want to create some other purples as well for the spectrum. We'll call this purple 2. And just go halfway between those, so that's going to be 0.3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's make it 6. 610. I'm just eyeballing this now. 3, 5, and 0.6, but it needs to be slightly more, so let's go 625. Okay. We can actually try this color now. Drop it into the lower portion, so only the tip is going to be at the full purple brightness. Oh, actually, these. Just comment those for now. Yeah, that one and that one. Just want to check that it's not too garish. Texture. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, got a bit of fade there. So we then want the lower one. So that one we're going to get rid of. And the reason is, so we're going from this corner and this corner. It's going to be the next sort of anchor point for the polygon, and then we're going to be going back for the third one down to about here. So let's go. Oh, has the music stopped? No, the music's still going. So, in terms of the X, just trying to figure out the X. I think it wants to be like halfway in between these. So it's going to be 0.15. Y-wise needs to be lower than the lowest one, so I'll make that 0.5. And the Z, it also needs to be further back than the back one. So let's make it 0.15. And we will make this the dark purple. Set the UV coordinates there. We might as well do the left side while we're at it. And we're not forgetting to flip the X coordinates. So let's see what that looks like. Select our enemy heads. Okay, I'm liking this color. And then, excuse me, from here, I think we just want to have a thing coming out here to a point. So we want to go from there down to there and connecting to this corner here. So we need to just figure out where that point's going to be, and then we can generate the other triangles from there. So these two, it's going to be the two back ones, going to be the start. So we can take that from the Z coordinate to figure out which ones are the two back ones. And then our last point is going to be, sorry, just trying to visualize this. So we want to go anti-clockwise, so we're going to go to the top one, bottom one, and then finally this last one. Definitely be, so which one's the two? Yeah, top one, lower one, and then this needs to be, what was it? I actually think we want this to hang below the center point. So we'll make that minus 0.2. And how far back? It needs to be further back than the current one. So let's make that 0.25. And it's also going to be the dark purple. What? Flip them, flip the X coordinate, rerun that, let's see what happens. Okay, it's starting to look like a solid object at least. Okay, well, that's sort of done what I was thinking, but actually I think we want to add an extra thing. So I'm going to make a triangle that comes out here and then down, so it sticks out a bit more, gives a bit more depth, I think. So it's definitely the lowest one it needs, and I think it wants to be the same height of maybe slightly lower. Yeah, I'm going to not do the left-hand side so that we can see the comparison. Oops. Texture. Yeah. Take the bottom point from there. Run that. yes, there we go. We've got a nice little like kink in the thing, and it adds a bit more depth to it. So let's flip the, take these, which one? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the last two and replace the last one. To flip the x coordinates, there's another one. Flip the draw. Just the reason we need to flip them is so that it calculates the normals correctly. Otherwise they'll be the wrong way around. Cool. Yes, I think that's exactly what I wanted. And then we just need something in here to fill in the rest of the cowl, I think. Bring it down. And then I wanted to put a little lip over the front, and then obviously just at the moment we're just going to create an empty void for the face. And then later I think we can replace it with its own separate plane with a shader attached, and then we can do whatever we want with the eyes and give them a bit more of an expression. So I think we're going to go, does that close? Yeah, I think it does. So we're going to go from here down to here, spreading out, yep, and back up to connect to this part of the hood, I think. So we need the, what was that? That was the second triangle. And then we want the lower two coordinates from there. So take the second triangle, lower two. Call this wing. It's very easy to lose track of which is which. Top, we'll call this tail. Stick an extra there to group them together. Yeah, we'll call this the wing. So this was starting, this was the second one, yeah. And we said we wanted the lower two. So it's going to be getting rid of this guy, and we wanted to go lower one, upper one, yeah, lower one, upper one, and then down to the new one. So lower one, upper one, and then two. Take the upper one, it needs to be slightly wider, a lot lower, and a little bit back. That is the, and then I think it wants to be the dark. The same color as this one. Oh. Let's try and build that and see what happens. Yeah, it's coming together. And I think actually maybe we just connect this one, and this one, and make it the solid cowl. Does that leave enough room for the shoulder? Yeah, maybe it doesn't. I think it needs to come back to here. It's there. Yeah, I think it needs one more on there. So we go with the lower two, lowest, highest, and then I think same level basically. So these will all be the dark color. All the dark color. So we go with the lowest. Oh yeah, we need to get rid of the highest one as well. Yep. Get rid of that anyway. Right, lowest is this one. Let's do this one first. It's the lowest one, then that one. To be the same x coordinate. Same height. Same height. What's the other height? 1.25. Sorry, yeah, it must be the height of this one. And then the Z's from there. Yeah, I think that works. And then we'll connect them. So basically, drawing one more triangle here, in line with there, and then we'll bring this one down to fill in this gap here. Right, save that. We'll run it. Yeah, this is slightly. It's quite a loud track. Sticking out quite a lot, so I think that's I've messed up the x coordinate. What did I do there? Shoot. Did I miss it? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where I went wrong there. I shouldn't just. Oh no, maybe that's right. I think it is right. I think the shading is throwing off my perception of it. Yeah, so now we just need to connect these last two together, and that should do it. Call this into tip. We'll go with the outermost one. This guy. Then this guy. And then the tip. Which is going to be this one. I think that's good. Happy with that. So now let's put the left side in and flip it. So what do we call that? We call that top. Tail. Tip. to flip each of the triangles. You can do that just by swapping the middle and top vertices. And then we just need to invert the x coordinates. Okay, rerun that. Hopefully we should have a pretty good cowl. Cool. Yep, I think that's good. One thing I wanted to do was just put a little like lip on the front coming down. So like having a line here. Probably do that. Top lip, we'll call it. Yeah, I didn't want the top bit to, like the material to be infinitely thin essentially, which is really what we're doing. So just wanted to have a little bit of extra volume on the front. So we'll start from the top, the very top tip, which is going to be the highest point. And then take the lowest point from the first triangle, which is this one. Oops. So I'm just trying to visualize mentally how to do this, but go to a point that's like slightly to the left, very slight though, and then finally to that point. So it's actually going to be two of those. Let's say make that 0.27. I think that's it actually. Let's run that, see what happens. Texture. Did that even do anything? I don't even see a difference there. I don't think that did what I thought it did. Oh, wait. Oh no, that should be... Maybe it's not visible enough. Yeah, maybe it's too small. Maybe. Let's try it. We'll try and do an exaggerated one, see if that's more obvious. Okay, yeah, so that was it, but it's too far back. Yeah, I think it needs to be... Yeah, I also was looking on the wrong side. I was looking for it here, and it's actually on this side. So, yeah, it definitely needs to come forward. So let's try. I think that's better, yeah. I think it comes forward a little bit too far. 3-0. Then I think one more triangle. One more triangle connecting this one down to there. So I want to take the bottom two, just going to be these two, get rid of that one. And then connect to the, we want to go 0.2 first, then 0.3. Yeah, and then we need to find this one, which I think was on the, it was the first wing one. So get that, and it will be the lowest triangle on there. 0.25. Okay. So yeah, I like that, but I think it needs another one to come down to here to make it look like a full kind of face covering. Sort of wondering if the front polygons should have their own color. Actually, I might put a different color in there and down here, maybe like a yellowy purple. Let's get our hex color picker again. Let's do that. Call it yellow trim. So it's 113, 115, 21. Go to Python, 13 over 255. And find 21, 255. So for this one, we want the 0.2 coordinate and the lowest coordinate. So the lowest one is this one, and the 0.2, so we get rid of that guy. essentially I think we just want this not quite as far across, so we get 0.35. And the yellow, rebuild. Scale and zoom. Yeah, I quite like the shading. I'm not entirely sure about the color. I think it might need to be I find this like limeish colour. Let's go with that. I should say trim, not trip. Put 107, 40, 25. Last one's 25. Okay. 443. Okay. Oh, did I actually just... Oh no. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I definitely prefer the green on that. And I think that looks, yeah, that looks really cool. So let's, yeah, let's do the flip side of that, and then we'll put the face on. And then we can start working on the body. How long is the stream been going? Hour 10, okay. What was it? Above the tail. Left side, above the tail. Go. There's our cowl coming together. Right, let's stick a face in. So, what we're going to need for a face, we need to go from the top. Probably want to go to this one first. I think we're going to need several triangles to get this. We'll go from the tip down to here, It's in line with these, but in the middle, and then with the leftmost of the lip. So let's put that, because it's on the front, let's do that here. So we're going to go from the top points. Oh, no, don't want to do this, I want to do the right side first. I know I'm saying right, but it's only because in my head that's the way it is. It's obviously the coordinates are flipped. That's why when it shows up on the left. So that's. So from the topmost point, that's here. I actually want to make the face ever so slightly grey, so I'm going to make that 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Put it together so I can copy it. Face and colour, drop that in there. Cool. So then we want the top lip, the lowest part of that. There. Again, copy the colour, and then, oops, it needs to be the same height, but at 0, 0 to join in the middle. Is that right? Top, yeah, that's the right direction. Just double check that that's actually worked. Excellent, it's not tearing. That was my big fear was that it was going to tear. It hasn't done that. Well, it's maybe torn a little bit at the top there. I really need to fiddle about with the tooling here because you can't actually zoom in on specific points. You can only rotate around the 0. Yeah, I think that works for now. I'd probably like to block off this top part. We could do that with a triangle, actually. Yeah, let's get the majority of the face in first. Okay, so now we want to go from this coordinate and this coordinate down to here, and then another one down to the middle. Right, we want the lower two. I want to start from the middle. And we're going to get the lower lip, the most left-hand side. There we go. And we just want to update the colour. Just rebuild that, check it. Excellent. And then we just need one that is actually maybe we drop the Z back a little bit. And then we want to go from this triangle, we want the top one down to the bottom one, top one, yeah, that one. needs to be 0. Two five. There we go. That was. Oh dear, that hasn't worked. That's tearing a bit. And one of them is too far to the left. Let's have a look. Oh, I see why. No, maybe I don't. It's because it's gone back. So it's like come back out the left. Okay, so we take the leftmost, we'll just make it, let's try 3, 5. See what happens there. I'm gonna just point out this one. Leave it at 4. Is that? Yes, the same. Okay. I just want to see if it's overflowing on both of them. My fault, didn't spot that. Okay, that's better. It's not sticking through now. It's not quite going far enough. So let's try 3, 8. Okay, it's too far. So 5. Oh, it's very close, very close. Okay, yes, that is ever so slightly tearing. So I think we want... Yeah, I think maybe it just doesn't work. Maybe this one needs to come in a little bit. Yeah. So let's put that back to 3, 8. And then set this one to 2, 7. That would also need to go to 2, 7. Yeah, I think that's what, oh, it's not quite, okay, it is ever so slightly overflowing there, but it's the lower one that's doing it, not the top, so. Okay, no tearing on the side. And I think it's connecting. Yes, it's not quite touching, but I think that's okay. I think we can cope with that. So let's take the corresponding coordinates here. That's that one. Zoom out a little bit. Maybe scale down. Yep, I think that's good. Yep, that's good. So what we'll do is flip that for the left-hand side, and which is actually the right-hand side because the coordinates are inverted. And then I think that's probably good enough. I think these streams normally get to about an hour and a half. I think that's going to be an hour and a half. So let's do that. Stick that on the, what was it? It was above the tail. Texture. There we go. Excellent. So we've got our enemy heads, and honestly, from the design I had, I think that was always going to be the hardest part. Although actually, we've not got to the hands yet, so who knows. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Happy with the color scheme as well. I think that's going to be fine. At some point, might think about adding textures to this, but honestly, for now, I think the raw colored polygons is good. So, so I guess the thing to do will be to actually we can always just regenerate this, and we can probably stick the head. We can use the head as a component of like once we. So my plan is to create the head and the body probably as the same piece. Then the arms, I'll create them separately. We can put them on the model to view it, but I want to have them independent so that I can move them independently. And then for the feet, probably do the same thing, so that we can create animations around those. But I don't think the head needs to move independently of the body, because I'm sort of thinking it's going to be quite sort of stiff movement anyway as they waddle around. And yeah, basically at the moment what I think is they're going to walk around, then like lift up an arm like to telegraph there's about to be an attack, and then throw a fireball from the hand. So we just need those bits. Yeah, once we've got all the models, then we can start actually putting the enemies back in and have them start to throw fireballs, and also add in collision detection for the firebolts and all that sort of fun stuff, which is sort of where we got to back when it was a 2D project as well. So yeah, cool. Well, thanks for watching. If you're watching this back, or if you joined live, much appreciated. Leave you with this model. Just have another look again at the model we've created, which is the head. This was the bit that, as I said, worried me the most, because I've kind of got more of an idea of what the body should be. Just going to build out the edges, and then sit the head on top. Yeah, so I think that's probably what we'll end up doing on the next stream over. We'll just have a final look at And this is where we got to with the room. We've got the skybox in there with the night sky behind and the jaggedy roof. You can fire firebolts and they explode. So yeah, I think it's coming together. It's taken a while. I'm obviously improving quite a lot on the bits that we're doing. I've got a vague vision of where I want this to go, but for now, nothing sort of concrete. And obviously, I haven't experimented or anything, so it's all I'm doing experiments live on YouTube, which is always quite fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, taking the time, and hopefully be able to get around to this again next week as well. So wish you all a good evening, good weekend, and yeah, bye for now.